Hey guys, Happy New Year. So we are in my bedroom before my next music student gets here. I also started vocal coaching about a year and a half ago, and business has really picked up over the holidays from October to now. I've got a lot more students. So I do schedule my students after work. I schedule them after school. So I had a few minutes to sit down and film. It's been a while since I filmed. I want to say about 2 months since I've really sat down and kind of updated you guys on what's going on with my weight loss process, with just like my general health, with me and my new life and my new relationship. And I think I talked about on my last, there was a previous Instagram post that I said that I would talk on my relationship and you know, what it's like having a boyfriend since VSG and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely want to touch on a little bit of that. But one of the challenges I told myself, I'm like, all right, I want to sit down and do a video with no fuss. I want to film it all the way through, even if I say something stupid or like if I like catch my breath or, you know, something, I like trip over my words. I want to have a real conversation with you guys as if you guys were really here. So, you know what I mean? It's like, if something goes down the wrong pipe or whatever, I want to have a totally uncut, unedited conversation with you guys. And I really want to start addressing some of the Instagrams that I've been getting from you. I got a couple tonight that were really like, they really hit home. I'll keep the person's name private, but basically, it said this, hey, I know you probably get a lot of messages on here and likely won't get a chance to read this, but I'm struggling. I have had VSG on the 28th of December and I've lost like 30 pounds, and yes, I'm thankful, but lately my cravings have been so bad. All I want to do is eat all the things I ever created. I haven't been, of course. I'm still on full liquids, and now I know my stomach is so small that I can only eat a little bit, but I'm so scared. How am I going to be able to do this when my cravings are so awful? I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Do you have any advice, or did you experience any of this? I go to personal therapy, and I also go to a group meeting that I was put into by a hospital when I had my surgery. That's actually really common. Like for example, my Kaiser rep, you know, they recommended small groups, support groups for VSG. They're really helpful. I went to a couple actually. If you get the chance to read this, please know that I love your videos and I can't wait for the next one. Thank you, heart. I'm sorry for the awful grammar. I just sent it before I chickened out. First of all, my English isn't even English half the time. So you're beautiful. I love you. And I want to keep that person's, you know, message private who sent it. But you guys, please understand, I read so many of your DMs and I've been responding a lot more lately because my resolution or my biggest goals, it's so funny. I think for the first time in forever, I'm literally taking off my hot socks as I'm talking to you guys. Like, I've got fluffy socks on and I am sweating. It's the wine. Like, let's have a seat. But basically, you know, when I thought about my resolutions and, you know, what I wanted to do this year, I wanted to better connect with you guys. I know I always say that, but I'm like literally like taking time, like, all right, I'm at the post office, I'm in line, responding to your guys' DMs, because it doesn't seem to matter like what time of year it is, what's going on. A lot more people are having weight loss surgery, or a lot more people are actually making serious progress when it comes to their health. And I'm noticing it's more of a trend now. A lot more people are just totally fed up and they're done. And they've taken that initial big step, and finally they're starting to see the scale move, and they kind of have a direction on how they're going to lose their weight. But it's more about now, it's like, okay, like I've lost, say, in her case, she lost 30 pounds, or I've got, you know, other clients that I personally work with and followers that have lost, you know, 120 pounds, and they've got another 80 pounds to go, and they're like, this spot right here, I wasn't expecting the stalls. I wasn't expecting the cravings that get so intense, let me tell you. And here is what I have to say about all of it. And a lot of people are not gonna like what I have to say. This is from personal experience. This is only my experience. a lot of it comes from just not being happy in your personal life. Food made me feel so good all the time. And I found myself, do you guys ever find yourself doing this? Comment below if you do. You'd be like going somewhere in your normal routine, like going to the post office, go to the grocery store, going wherever, and you think like what fast food places are around or what restaurants are around, because before surgery, or before you, say you didn't have surgery, before you started really actively seeking better health and better, better diet, and started getting into that kind of thing, you would go to this restaurant. Or for example, there's a Target where I live, and I know that Chick-fil-A is across the street from that Target. So it's like a conscientious, like I think about it like, ooh, like what's yummy around here. That is such a such a crap habit of mine. And I carried it with me after surgery. Oh my gosh. Except then it was like, all right, well, what can I get there that's like I can get around, or like won't hurt my stomach, or like doesn't have too much sugar, won't make me sick. But I was still like, ooh, I want to eat, I want to eat, I want to eat. But recently, and I mean like recently, like since I've been in a relationship, since I got my own house, since everything has been going in a way that has made my heart happy and my soul happy, I really don't care about food like I did before. It's weird. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, a man won't make you happy, or having things won't make you happy, or whatever. My thing is a lot of things are going on in my life that are taking my focus away from that loneliness that food would fill. So I struggle with, and I talked about this in a video prior, I'll link it below. I struggled so bad, so freaking bad with loneliness, to the point of like settling in my mind, like, okay, I know this person isn't good for me, this isn't a good guy, but I'm gonna settle. Or I didn't say I'm gonna settle, I went, oh, maybe it can get better, blah, blah, blah. My biggest problem, my giant, is loneliness. And it's been my issue since I was 16 years old. I met my first husband, through my divorce, through 7 years of being single. 7 years of being single. And to some people, it's like, who cares? Like, why do you need a man? Like, why do you... I am a pack animal. I am personally wired for a relationship. I cannot wait to be a wife and a mom when it's time. Like, these are the things that make my heart happy. These are the things that I dream about. I literally have dreamt about holding my son, like literally, like his eye color, everything. So these are the things that, like, when I think of like what heaven must be like, it's gonna be like with my husband and my kids and my family, and like teaching a bunch of kids how to sing. Like, when I think of what my heaven would be, and like God knows my heart. So like, these are the things that I struggle with personally. And I'm not saying like, oh, you need to be in a relationship, or, oh, I'm not saying that for anybody. I'm saying for me personally, I was always so sad because I was alone, and I would struggle with that really, really bad, to the point of wanting to lose as much weight as I possibly could, because then, or you know what I mean, like getting enough Instagram followers, because then it's like, no, we have one life. We all have the same 6-foot grave. Like, none of us get out of this world alive. I'm just full of cliches today. Hello, wine. Well, basically, once I found what my heart was truly after, and for you, it could be your career. Your career could be your passion. And I want to take away the word of what, per se, and replace it with a passion. So oftentimes I find that when things I'm passionate about are going really, really well, I'm less concerned with filling a void in my life with food. And it's honestly like, it's a wake up for me, because I realized just how lonely I was. Now, moving forward, God forbid something were to happen to my relationship, God forbid something would have happened to my independence or whatever, one thing that I know for sure that I can take away from it is knowing that it's not forever. You know what I mean? My addiction to food is not forever. There's always a reason for something. And I think that freedom in finding the reason as to why we're addicted to eating and why we feel so drawn to food, you know, we're going to find a lot more peace in the idea of I'm not stuck here. And it's so crazy to see myself, to have the blessing and the opportunity to see myself at two different phases of my life. To go when I was addicted to food and I was incredibly unhappy, to when now food is just a normal part of my life and I'm incredibly happy. But to go, oh my gosh, I'm no longer addicted anymore because my heart's full. That says so much, does it not? So crazy much. Because we think, oh, I'm always going to be addicted to this, or I'm always going to, this is just the way I am. No, it's not. It's totally not. We can be whoever we truly want to be. And it just blows my mind. And I wanted to share that with you guys, that I don't find myself thinking about food the way I used to. I also, this might be TMI, I'm actually positive it's TMI, are all my videos. I stopped taking birth control, completely stopped taking birth control. One, I don't need it. And I don't care if that's too personal. I don't need birth control right now. And it's just like mind-blowing how getting off something that was adding too many hormones into my system. Now, I understand a lot of women need birth control for medical reasons, for just, I mean, your skin, to regulate your periods. Like, I totally get that. For me personally, don't need it. Off of it. So not only am I off birth control, because I was swinging all the time, my cravings, my hormones, my attitude, just everything was a mess. I've got all these new things going on in my life, you know, a new house, a new relationship, well, same relationship, but reflourished relationship, and some major things coming up this year and all this crazy stuff. I knew for me, I was like, get off that crap, get off any type of birth control, anything that's gonna cause me any added mess. I didn't want anything in my system, you guys. I did not want anything in my system. I didn't want to be on any medications. I'll be on vitamins, like that's it. Because I truly need to just let my body rest. I had put myself through so much in the last 3 years since I had surgery. My body is constantly like, whoa, like all these crazy things, you know what I mean? And, you know, dealing with my kidneys, dealing with, not to be too graphic, but dealing with like horrible digestive, like gastrointestinal issues that were like gross at times. And, you know what I mean? Like I would have bleeding in certain areas and, you know, constipation and all this mess. I even struggled with low heart rate. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? You guys, if you go back to my Instagram a while back, you'll see that I dealt with this major rash that's caused by stress. I still have it. I get this burning, itching sensation that feels like red ants that are like biting my skin. Not as intense as like a red ant bite to where I'm like, you know what I mean? Or like, ow, like it's not like that, but it would start to burn and welt all over my face, my body when I get stressed out. So how does this all correlate? This is what a normal conversation is with me, by the way, like without cuts and without things flowing. This is how I talk. And my boyfriend's my best friend, so you can imagine, like, we talk like we're girlfriends. Like this, it's exhausting being around like me. So basically all of these things, and on top of it, I was still struggling with the same addiction to food. Or so I thought. I thought that I was still addicted to food, because how can you be someone of size and not always have an addiction to food? We need food to survive. We need food to survive. But my mentality has changed a lot. So what I want you to get from this is, you know, if you're single, don't go out and find. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you need a relationship. I'm saying you need to get to the depth of the things that you truly desire the most and ask yourself what will come from those things. You know what I mean? There are certain things that we know that are useless in the long run. You do not get to take all the treasures with you in your grave, as far as your money, as far as your success, all this kind of stuff. my biggest thing is, and I almost get tearful when I think about it, impact and connection for people who feel disconnected or lost. Like, I want to be able to reach in, grab you, and go, you are valuable. You mean the whole world, because God created you so precious, so beautiful, to live a life of meaning and, live life abundantly and, experience joy and experience being able to serve others. And that's my thing. My biggest thing that truly just makes my heart full is singing for other people, music, being able to, my clients, I have a plus size clothing boutique for those of you who don't know, being able to serve my clients, make my clients feel beautiful. I love to be able to connect with people and connect here and make them feel something. Whether it be, just a closeness, a connection, they don't feel alone, make them feel beautiful, make them feel valuable. That's my thing. And being able to have, those intimate connections of my own with my family, my future husband, and my future kids, and have it all together. Like, if my kids could learn to sing and go with me to the senior centers and sing for senior residents and retirement homes like I do, I would be tickled. So most likely my kids are probably going to be gamers and have no interest in singing. That's totally fine. But I'm saying these are things that make my heart happy. So I really want you to take away from this. Just get yourself a pad, a paper, and a pen and go, what makes my heart the most happy? And, ask yourself why. Why these particular things? Because let me tell you something. When you are at a place when your soul and your heart is full, your priorities change, man. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you. So I know it's kind of difficult to hear that, because it's not a finite, step 1 through 10, here's how you get, or 11 steps on becoming successful, or, 5, 6 tips and tricks to get a man, or whatever. It's truly just figuring out what your heart wants the most and focusing your mind and your body on those things. And what I mean your body, I mean, if you know for a fact that you want to travel and you want to experience, different cultures, and you want to go different places, what you can start doing is you can start conditioning yourself. You know what I mean? Say you're in another country and you've got to walk from here to that. You want to make sure that you're healthy enough to do that. You know what I mean? So start thinking about your goals. Start thinking about, if you want a family and you want to get pregnant and all that kind of stuff, start thinking about a healthy pregnancy. All of it comes down to, mind-body connection. And that's kind of where I'm at right now is, I'm performing a lot more than I've ever performed. And I'm meeting so many different people, and I'm teaching music now. And it's just, doors are opening that I never expected to open, because a big hole in my heart is now full. But like I said, God forbid something happened and certain things were taken away from me, and I found myself back in a state of singleness, or I found myself in a state of maybe having to go back to work for a company that I didn't own like I do now. I know now that my food addiction was because I was looking for something, and that it wasn't who I am. It wasn't that I was just chemically wired to love food more than the next person. So part of this is learning a lot about yourself, digging deep down and figuring out who you are. And it could take years. I watch, I'm a big fan of Jada Pinkett Smith, and she says that she was 45. She was 45 until she finally loved herself and got to know who she was. So it's not a race. It's not a race at all. So that's just kind of an update what's going on in my life. My sleeve is still working. I'm still in the 160s. So I fluctuate. I fluctuate up to 172, 73 over the holidays. So I think I'm back down to 167.3. That's what it said on the scale today. So I go up and down. If I stay this weight for the rest of my life, I don't care. It's not about the scale anymore. It's about how I feel. Now I want to start doing stuff. right? Like now I want to start traveling. My boyfriend and I have a lot of travel plans this summer, and I finally got my passport in October. So I'm really excited to travel with him and travel with our friends and just make new memories. But I want to be healthy for all those things. You know, in the next few years, I'm going to want to have a baby. I'm going through a phase. I'm going to be 28 in April. And every time I smell a baby, or like I smell a baby, like I'm just walking around like sniffing prams, but no, like every time I am around like a baby, I just get these like warm fuzzies, and my mom's like, yeah, well, guess how old you are, it's that time. So, you know, I'm gonna want to have a family here pretty soon, you know what I mean? That sounds like heaven to me. Like I want a baby. So these are things that I know are coming up, so I want to condition myself. I want to get ready. We always need to think of it as a getting ready, as a training, as a getting excited for something. Not a rush, not a, I have to lose weight before this or this. I'm at high school reunion, so I have to lose all this weight. I have to make myself sick. No, you don't. You need to make yourself happy. And if that event is going to make you happy, like you're excited, you're looking forward to that, like, yeah, you know what I mean? Take care of yourself. Get in a healthier state of mind, and then, you know, eat clean, do right. But I hope that you want to always do that and not look at it like, oh, I need to lose weight for this, so and so thinks of me like this, or these pictures are blah, blah, blah. It don't matter. People are not worried about you. They're worried about their own selves. They really are. They're not worried about you. If you show up to your high school reunion and you've got 50 to 100 pounds extra on you, so what? Enjoy your high school reunion. But if you want to go and you want to look and you want, like, there's an impact that you want to make on somebody, and you feel that your weight is important enough to make an impact on somebody else, I'd really think about that one, because I've done it. I've been there, and let me tell you something. Whether I was fat, skinny, or everything, it didn't matter. It did not matter. What mattered was why I was concerned so much about that. Because if you're internally happy with yourself, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff doesn't matter. You're going to go and you're going to enjoy your time. So baby steps, let's figure out what's going to make us the most happy. Let's going to figure out, you know, where we are now, what we can do to potentially further ourselves. You know, we're all going to have stalls. We're going to have weight stalls all the time. Yeah, and they're extremely disappointing. They really are. Because once you get that momentum of like losing the weight that you want to lose and then it stops, you get all weird. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing something wrong, or why isn't it going away? And oh, now I'm hungry again. I'm getting the same cravings. We all get them. It's totally normal. And you'll get through them. You really will get through them. Your life will go on, and it will not be controlled by your addiction to food. I can promise you that, as long as you find what truly makes your heart and soul happy and you keep reaching for those goals, eventually you will get there. If you continue to serve others, put others first as far as serving them. I'm not saying don't take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. Absolutely, you need to take care of yourself. But if you get to where you're serving other people, you know what I mean? That you're putting that good out there, that goodness out there, that you're smiling at people, that you're being kind to people, you're loving on people, and you're trying to work towards your goals while loving people and being good to the rest of the world, I guarantee you, your goals will come to you, because God knows the desires of your heart. And, you know, if you truly trust in the Lord and you put that good out into the world, I promise you, He is going to reward you abundantly. And He says in Ephesians that He has exceedingly abundant things prepared for us. And it's just like, it's a promise that is always there. It's for everyone. So I want to just blow that your way tonight. And I think it's almost time for my music student. Yeah, about 15 minutes. My student will be here. So I love you guys. I wanted to have kind of an uncut, just raw experience with you guys tonight with my little wine. I always have a glass after a big show just to kind of relax. So I love you. I will see you guys in my next video. Follow me right here on my Instagram and send me those DMs. Let's talk privately, and I'll respond as soon as I can and to as many as I can. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time.